Hello, my name is Mackai Sharp. I am 17 years old. I work in media and community advocacy. I'm a director at the Community Justice Center, and I'm represented by Take a Stand Youth for Conservation. I think the lack of recognition that young people are receiving is leading to a decline in the way we view opportunity, the way we view where we live. It's really disheartening when we're advertised as this living arts community, as this young, healthy place full of future and full of opportunity, when no one can find livable wages. And I feel like in a lot of ways, this kind of whole aspect of society has been disregarded in terms of focusing on other things, which is, everyone has their own plan, everyone has their own model. But I think we need to really encompass the voices of everyone. And as a young person, as a queer person, I feel like my voice isn't being heard quite correctly, and I feel like that goes the same for all kinds of youth across the whole spectrum. So I think in a lot of ways, we just need to be engaging more and hearing the voices of young people and what they have to say, because there is a lot of good ideas. One perpetual truth of small communities in BC and of the Comox Valley is that our community leadership, our institutions, they put the responsibility of addressing intolerance, of addressing any sort of inadequacy on the most vulnerable people to address it themselves. And as leaders, they need to be responsible to ensure their voices are heard, but there's a lot of silencing. There's a lot of, oh goodness. Young people don't feel like they have a voice. And that should never be happening. There's a disconnect between our leadership and those affected by the policy that they're writing in. Within local politics, within provincial politics, there's not a lot of engagement with young voters, people who are just beginning to get their own political voices. And I think a lot of young people are recognizing there's not a lot of support, attention, or resources being driven to their issues or being driven to better support them as they come into the world. And likewise, I think that is reflected within skate parks, within all public infrastructure that concerns young people.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful. Would you like to see heated bathrooms or water that's on-demand hot water in our bathrooms?
I would like to see more public bathrooms in general, at skate parks, at areas where youth are gathering, where people are gathering. I think it's a form of crisis reduction. I think it's a form of public health. Providing warm water, providing places for people to clean themselves, access to drinking water. That is so important for a healthy and happy society. All different groups of people in the Comox Valley, when we don't have access to these resources, it kind of creates a breakdown. So I know a lot of young people are forced to go home. I know a lot of unhoused people don't have access to clean drinking water. There's a lot of issues. It's very intersectional, but so the need for public infrastructure should be prioritized. I think hand sanitizer is valuable. Sometimes when there isn't a bathroom around, I have to use my own hand sanitizer, so it is a backup, but I don't think it is a replacement for hot running water and soap. And I think that's kind of the implication, is that we are replacing clean hot water and soap with hand sanitizer, which, how does that reflect on how we're viewed? The people that are using these spaces, how are we viewed? Are we not worth it? Because that's kind of how it's coming across. So I don't think it's a replacement. I think it's a benefit to have adjacent to, running water, but I don't think it replaces anything. In so many aspects, we're unhappy with the current state of how things are addressed in the Comox Valley.
What would you say, where do you see angst manifest?
Where do I see angst manifest? I see angst manifest within substance use. I don't know a single person in the Comox Valley who hasn't turned to some point or another to any one of the accessible substances. Well, I think the sentiment among the younger people in the Comox Valley and across Vancouver Island is, as the sun goes down and things start to close around 5, 6 p.m., there's no public spaces or anywhere for youth to gather that we're actually welcomed, and it's warm and we have access to resources.
It'd probably be like a huge plot of land like this, and we get it and we just throw it down in the ground and make a fucking skate park there, and like maybe like a snack bar, and like a teen youth help center. There's no skating signs literally everywhere that is concrete, so it would be nice to have at least a small skate park and like a little area where people can go and jump up and down. Like freshly paved roads that are really long. But I think those little lines, I can just hop over them, but other people, they can't do that and they get hurt because they're skate stoppers.
Would you rather see maybe a mix of concrete with fields instead of seeing things be entirely concrete then?
Yeah, that'd be all right, I guess. I mean, if you want to go there and like eat some bread and eat some vegetables and have a fun picnic at the park, it's all right for that.